All right, let's get into something really interesting today.
Huh.
You know how sometimes homemade skincare seems, well, maybe a bit tricky, or you just think it's too
Completely.
complex?
Definitely daunting sometimes.
Well, today we're kind of peeling back the curtain on a really fascinating idea, making your own emulsified cannabis lotion bar
Hmm.
right at home.
Sounds fancy, doesn't it? But it's surprisingly doable.
It does, and we're digging into it based on this fantastic blog post from 420formulator.com. Seriously, I have to mention, if you're into skincare formulation or, cannabis applications, 420formulator.com is just an amazing resource. Really top-notch stuff there.
It really is. And what we're doing here is more of a practical look, wouldn't you say, at how easy it can actually be to, well, whip up genuinely high quality, even eco-friendly skincare.
Yeah.
And this particular blog post, it just lays it out so clearly. It really focuses on why adding an emulsifier takes a simple lotion bar and turns it into something, well, something pretty special.
Okay, so let's start right there. A cannabis lotion bar. What exactly is that? The blog describes it as like a solid moisturizer you just glide on.
That's the basic idea, yeah. Think solid moisturizer stick. But the key, like you said, is emulsified. That's where it gets interesting.
Right, so what's the big deal about the emulsifier?
Okay, so think about your standard lotion bar. It's usually just oils, butters, wax, solid stuff. It works, creates a barrier.
Protective.
But this blog points out that the emulsifier totally changes how it feels and works. It lets the bar actually interact with water that's already on your skin,
Oh, okay.
which means you get a much smoother glide compared to those traditional bars. Better moisture retention, too, because it's working with the water. And maybe the best part for a lot of people, it feels way less greasy.
Less greasy is definitely a selling point.
For sure. The blog really highlights that you get this lovely, lightweight hydration, plus all the benefits from the cannabis oil, without that heavy sort of film.
I've tried some lotion bars before, and they can be a bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes you just sit there feeling slick. Is the emulsifier the sort of secret sauce that fixes that? Helps it actually sink in?
That's pretty much it. That's the main problem it solves. Your regular bars can feel heavy. Effective, yeah, but heavy.
Right.
The cool thing here is the emulsifier lets the bar mix with water. So say you use it right after a shower, skin's still damp.
Yeah.
It just sinks in much quicker. So you're getting like deeper hydration, less mess, and it feels so much lighter. It's like the difference between rubbing straight oil on your hands versus a really nice lotion.
Okay, that makes sense. A big difference.
Huge. And the blog gives some great ideas for using it after the shower. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Or on really rough spots like elbows, heels. Even suggest trying it on, like the split ends of your hair.
On hair, too. Interesting. Very versatile, then.
Yeah, it makes it a really adaptable little product.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the lovely feel, the hydration, but then there's the cannabis part. How does the blog suggest getting the good stuff from the cannabis into the oils for the bar?
Right, the infusion. Yeah, the blog covers that. It explains you need to infuse your oils first. It suggests sweet almond oil and fractionated coconut oil.
Infuse them. How, generally?
Well, it's a process. Gentle heat, time. It lets the cannabinoids and, the terpenes, all those beneficial plant compounds transfer into the oil. It's simple, but you have to do it right.
Crucial step, then.
Oh, absolutely crucial. It ensures the cannabis goodness is actually in the oil evenly so it gets delivered to your skin properly. Makes a massive difference to how well the final bar works.
And if someone wants the exact how-to?
Yeah, for the specifics like the dosing and the decarbing, which is super important for activating the cannabis for topical use, the blog post on 420formulator.com has all the detailed instructions. They really spell it out clearly.
Good to know it's all there. It sounds like the blog really makes the whole process feel, well, pretty straightforward. It emphasizes the formulation itself is easy to follow.
It does. All the instructions are laid out on the website. You definitely don't need to be some pro formulator to give this a go, which is great for people crafting at home.
Lofic.
And then it moves into what it calls the ingredients spotlight, which I really like. It doesn't just list things. It breaks down why each ingredient is in there, what job it's doing.
The why. That's always helpful.
Exactly. It shows how they all work together. It's like a little lesson in formulation synergy.
Okay, let's get into that then. What are some of these key players the blog highlights?
Well, first up, you've got beeswax. That's pretty fundamental.
Or keeping it solid, right?
Primarily, yeah. Gives it that structure so it doesn't just melt into a puddle. But it also forms this really nice barrier on the skin, protective, but it lets your skin breathe. It's not like slathering on something heavy that clogs pores.
Breathable barrier, I like that.
Locks in moisture, keeps the bad stuff out, and it has some mild antibacterial properties too, which is never a bad thing in skincare.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And what about shea butter? That seems to be in everything.
And for good reason, shea is just, it's so rich and creamy, packed with vitamins like A and E. It's amazing for hydrating really dry skin, helps strengthen that skin barrier, cuts down on flakiness.
So it brings the serious moisture.
Oh, yeah. And in this bar, it really contributes to that luxurious, smooth glide when you put it on. Feels lovely. Plus, it helps with skin repair. Just a real powerhouse.
Then there's cocoa butter, another classic, different from shea.
A bit different, yeah. Cocoa butter is firmer, which adds to the bar's overall hardness, helps it last longer, not melt too easily.
And the smell.
It does have that lovely faint chocolatey scent, which is a nice bonus. But functionally, it's also super hydrating because of its fatty acids. Good for skin elasticity, so it adds structure and moisture, a key player for form and function.
Got it. So butters and waxes give the structure and some base moisture. What about the infused oils? Let's start with the sweet almond oil, cannabis infused. Why that one?
Okay, sweet almond oil, just lovely stuff, really gentle, absorbs easily, which is perfect when you want to get those cannabis compounds into the skin, not just sitting on top.
Easily absorbed is good.
Definitely. And it's full of vitamins E and D. Very calming for irritated skin, leaves it feeling silky, not oily. And infusing it with cannabis just boosts all those soothing, repairing effects.
Nice. And the other one was fractionated coconut oil, cannabis infused. How's that different from like the solid coconut oil you cook with?
Big difference. Fractionated coconut oil, or FCO, is basically coconut oil that stays liquid and is much less greasy. It's super light, stable, absorbs really fast.
Ah, so that helps with the non-greasy feel too.
Exactly. Contributes massively to that light finish. And it's brilliant at carrying active ingredients like the cannabis compounds into the skin effectively. Helps the bar glide smoothly, no stickiness. Really important for how nice the bar feels to use.
Okay, now, the ingredient that sounded really different, all of M1000, the emulsifier. What's special about this one?
Yes, olive M1000. This is the magic ingredient, really. It's derived from olives, and it's what makes the bar emulsified. It's not just mixing oil and water. It creates this special structure. They call it lamellar.
Lamellar.
Yeah, apparently it mimics your skin's own lipid layers. So instead of just sitting on top, it integrates better with your skin barrier.
Wow, okay.
Which leads to that quick absorption, the really creamy, luxurious texture, and that ability to work with the water on your skin for deeper hydration. Plus, it's really mild, good even for sensitive skin. It's the key to that perfect blend of richness and lightness.
And to stop that richness feeling. Whoa, too rich. The blog mentioned powders. Cornstarch or arrowroot.
Yeah, spot on. Cornstarch or arrowroot powder, they're like the finishing touch. They just absorb any tiny bit of leftover oiliness.
So they give it that silky finish.
Silky, powdery feel. Makes your skin feel soft, not tacky. And they help the bar glide better too, less drag. It's all about making it feel really nice to use.
Right. Now, thinking about safety, using it on damp skin, keeping it in the bathroom, preservation must be important. What about Saligardi PCG?
Oh, absolutely critical. Saligardi PCG is a preservative, gentle but broad spectrum. Since the bar interacts with water and lives in a humid place like a bathroom, you need to stop microbes, mold, yeast, bacteria from growing.
Definitely don't want those.
No way. So this keeps the bar fresh, stable, and safe to use for longer. Gives you peace of mind. Without a preservative, it just wouldn't last safely.
Makes sense. And what about vitamin E? I see that listed a lot.
Vitamin E does double duty here. First, it's a natural antioxidant, so it helps stop the oils in the bar from going rancid, extends the shelf life.
Protects the oils.
Yep. And second, it's great for your skin. Supports repair, protects against damage, helps keep that skin barrier healthy. So it's working to keep the bar good and your skin good.
Multitasker. Okay, lastly, adding a personal touch with scent. Essential oils.
Yeah, essential oils, great for natural fragrance, of course. But the blog rightly points out they can add extra skin or hair benefits too, like lavender is calming, citrus oils can be uplifting.
So you can customize it.
Totally. But the blog also advises being smart about it. Think about the season. Peppermint might be too cooling in winter, maybe spearmint's better for summer, and always be mindful of how much you use, especially if you have a sensitive skin. Don't overdo it.
Good advice. And just quickly, the silicone molds the blog mentions, just for shape.
Mostly shape, yeah, it gives them that nice professional look. But the blog notes that using smaller molds makes the bars easier to handle and use daily. Plus, silicone makes it super easy to pop the finished bars out. It's a practical touch.
So you put all that together, all these thoughtful ingredients,
Hmm.
and you get this bar that just melts nicely with your body heat. The blog says, glide it on clean, damp skin or hair tips.
The warmth helps release all the good stuff,
Mm.
delivers the moisture right where you want it. It really does sound like a fantastic way to look after your skin and hair.
It really does.
Mhm.
And it brings us back to how the blog manages to take something that sounds quite technical, emulsified cannabis lotion bar, and just breaks it all down, makes it seem achievable.
Yeah, it really delivers on making it understandable, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Giving you those practical insights so you feel like, hey, I could actually make that. It's empowering.
It really makes you appreciate knowing what's in your products,
Mhm.
and the idea that you can actually tweak things, customize them for what your skin needs. That's pretty cool.
It is taking control of your skincare.
And, if listening to this has got you curious about making your own stuff, and you want to explore more free formulations like this for skincare, I'd really suggest having a look at 420formulator.com.
Mm.
It's just a great place to browse if you're interested in learning how these kinds of products come together. Lots of great ideas there.
Definitely worth a look. And remember, when you understand how these things are made, you're not just following a recipe, you're learning the craft behind it. It's quite rewarding.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in while we chatted about this. It's always fun to unpack these formulations.
It really is. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.